Hello and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 21st of March for the Sun or the Ascendant. What I'm going to do is give you a broad overview of what to expect, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac sign forecasts. Now this week begins with the Sun finding its way in its new home of Aries. This obviously gives us an opportunity for a sense of renewal, for getting on the front foot with fresh plans, or revitalising the strands that are ongoing with greater energy and enthusiasm. So really exciting stuff. But of course the ruler of the sign of Aries is Mars, and that's in sector 11 alongside Venus in the sign of Aquarius. And Mars comes into a direct and exact right angle with Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, the modern ruler of Aquarius, on Tuesday. Now, therefore, it could be a restless start to this week. Mars squaring Uranus can make us a bit more impatient, more easily frustrated with limitations. It could see us experiencing a greater consciousness about those people who share different values to us. We may be more impulsive about spending money. Also, someone could try to dominate us and restrict our freedoms, but equally we can push back on any restrictions that are trying to be imposed on us. So that's an interesting combination. At the heart of this week, also Mercury, in its debilitated journey through Pisces, combines with Neptune. Now this is absolutely awesome if we want to embrace the more spiritual dimension, to do some meditation or perhaps some creative writing or listen to some really enchanting music, but it can make it more difficult to grapple with details, so our concentration could be affected a little bit at the heart of this week. However, later in the week, Mercury moves forwards to forge a very penetrating link with Pluto. Pluto in the sign of Capricorn for that little while longer. It's moving into Aquarius next year, 23, for nearly 2.5 months. And then we'll go into Aquarius in 24 for a longer stay. But that combination between Mercury and Pluto can give Mercury in Pisces, which can be very mutable, can give it a bit more shape. So excellent for thinking behind the scenes of situations, do a bit of probing or research. But Friday's quarter moon also occurs in the sign of Capricorn. And of course, like Aries, this is a cardinal sign, very much about leadership. And I think the energy of the sun in Aries is quite immediate. It's focused on what it wants to do in the here and now, whereas the energy of Capricorn is more about the long established ways that things are structured. So it can be like having to deal with someone in a position of authority, like a line manager. It could be an institution, a governmental agency, and we may encounter some frustration if something we want to do that's new and fresh and exciting somehow receives less than enthusiastic support from someone who's part of the establishment, if you like. But that Aries energy is given a significant boost on Sunday when Mercury, the planet of thought and talk, moves into this sign, and that gives it much more fire, much more thrust. And I think that whole feeling of a new beginning is definitely going to be rejuvenated even more. Now please stay with me for your in-depth horoscope forecast, but if you are new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. If you'd also like to rise above Zodiac astrology and understand more about your own personal situation, you can take advantage of my special offer of character analysis and a 12-month forecast. Get 30% off. No two charts are the same, and it will give you searing insights for the months ahead. If you'd like to get your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see the link beneath this video too, where you can subscribe for that. Hello Virgo, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 21st of March. The Sun is now making its way through your sector of transformations, but your ruler Mercury is in a tight embrace with Neptune on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, it's possible that when it comes to a relationship matter, it could be more difficult than usual to get across your point of view in a really clear way, particularly at the start of this week. Someone may misunderstand where you're coming from. Also, there could be a touch of impatience on your part because with Mars and Uranus now reaching a peak on Tuesday of the rather grating and abrasive right angle that began within 3 degrees in the middle of last week. If there is a situation where it always seems to be you who's the giver and someone else gets a little bit more freedom from the situation, I feel that you could push back and try to get them to take more responsibility. And that's going to be a pattern which gets even stronger next week. So I don't feel that you're in the mood to make way on this. And just because Mercury is in a conjunction with Neptune and can be quite a softening interaction in terms of your sharing of information, I still feel that you're going to want to keep your boundaries quite firm. Now, later in the week, Mercury actually forges a very positive angle to Pluto, and it may be much more possible to get that clarity that's important. But later in this week, the moon position in Capricorn on Friday squares with the Sun. Now, another area that you could feel a sense of resentment could be around your love life. You know, if you feel that a partner's very clingy, doesn't give you much space to breathe, or there's sort of jealousy and sulks and the green-eyed monster and all that stuff, with Uranus in that 9th house, it really is pushing you to be a lot more assertive. And although the Sun is in your 8th house of transformations, that can be an area where you may decide to make some big changes. And so important stuff this week. But once Mercury moves at the end of this week into Aries, that's going to just give that process of transformation a bit more energy and drive. But essentially this week, as much as you may want to be diplomatic and caring, I feel at the end of the day, if someone is taking you for granted, either in a professional situation or in a relationship or around a friendship, I think you are going to be more strident in standing up for your position.